Hello everybody, I'm Miss Fisher. I'd like to talk you through your Year 9 options for the art section. And in this section you have three subjects. You have fine art, photography and art, craft and design. They're all art-based subjects but they all work within different medias. They all have the same elements in them for your exam. For instance, they all have 60% coursework and they all have 40% for an exam. The exam is taken in school and is timetabled into Year 11, which you start in January where you plan for it all the way until Easter where you take a 10-hour exam. And that's the same for each of the subjects. The reason we like to do that is so that we've got three options here for you, so that in Year 9 you can experiment with the different artistic skills, whether it be digital, whether it be painting, whether it be drawing, whether it be more hands-on. But we like to make it so that you can be successful and choose the best area that you feel that you can work in, and you can develop a lot of skills that help you to work yourself and make you much more independent and succeed in your own life. So they're like designed for you so that you can try different things. Obviously, in the fine art option, we'll be looking at mainly painting and drawing and printmaking, okay? And there's lots of different things you can see and work with. It's, people who like to draw and like things to be very fine and detailed and possibly but want also to experiment maybe with paint. This is a good subject for you. As you can see, 60% coursework, 40% exam. Again, you can see there the different types of work that go into these ones. We've got these sorts of sets of portraits where we're working with real life. We've got to look at some close-up work where we look at detailed observations and look at different studies of different sort of foods and vegetables and practice developing painting techniques, developing tones and mixing. Okay. You can also see here we also use a bit of photography, so there's always a crossover between all three subjects. All three use skills from each other, so you will still be needing to do some of your own photography and look at your own observations. Okay, the controlled assessment, which is the exam, that takes place during January, and you have a good 3 months to plan for it. So you plan all your ideas, come together, think about what you want to do, and then you produce a final piece. Okay, so these are some final pieces that might have been completed in the exam, and they looked at different sorts of portrait ideas. Okay. This one here, you can see here they've also used some different kind of printing techniques and looking at different sorts of media that they then work together to produce final ideas. You can see here we always look at an artist link, we look at observation, and we look at developing our techniques. It's very much a sort of 2D visual piece of work. However, there is areas to do a little bit of 3D and there's printmaking. Okay. So for the next option is photography. Okay, again, you've got the same grades, you've got the same work, you've got the exam that's completed in Year 11. It's 50% coursework and 60% coursework, sorry, and 40% exam. You'll be taught some of the basic things about cameras and how to use different sorts of photography. We also look at your different kinds of ways of working. Quite often we have to annotate and look at our different artist links. So you can see here you've got some different study books of some different artist work. You might have to research with different photographers. The same you would be doing in your fine art lesson as well as you would be in your craft. This work is quite often done on PowerPoint. So we do 50% of our lessons in an IT suite and 50% in an art suite space. So we do making, but we're also working on computers a lot of the time, and we're starting to make different kinds of evidence of ways of working. Now photo shoots in the classroom, and then we go back into the IT suite using Photoshop. Okay, we sometimes use these ideas, planning them through, as you can see here. These can be then put into your PowerPoint presentation. Obviously, you will the same thing. We also, in the exam, you end up making a final piece, and it doesn't have to be just digital. You can go into like a practical final piece. So you can see here that you are starting to work with 3D and looking at sort of or collage pictures together. So it can be quite practical and hands-on as well, as much as it is in the fine art. You still have to draw in this option, so that can be included in things like drawing with light. Okay. So here we can see some different kind of sets of photographs. You'll be expected to take photo shoots, you'll be expected to take a lot of photographs. Okay, having a camera, having your own camera is a good idea, but many people just use their camera phones. Also, you can see here we've got some different transparencies that we've also added in. Remember, it's quite digital, it's quite computerized, and it's about 50-50 practical, 50% digital. Okay, and we also go on to like the craft option here. For people, once again, it's you've got your coursework and then you've got your exam. So you can see here everything that you're producing from year 10 to the end of year 11 is part of your coursework. It's much more hand-making type subject. So you can see where you can do some different sort of stitching and sewing. There's a bit of sculpture. We often use plaster. You might use pottery and clay to build up some different items. Okay, and then that's your final sort of section. So you can see overall we've got these different sorts of making and contrasting things. So all three options are great. I hope you like them. If you've got any issues or any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. Thanks very much.